Welcome to QCTV's High School Football Preview. My name is Jim Childs, and we are about to preview the Andover Huskies, the Anoka Tornadoes, and the Champlin Park Rebels. All are looking to have excellent years this year, and the preview will start right now. Here with head coach Tom DeVellis of the Andover Huskies. Coach, 2 section championships last year, the semifinals. This year, you know, you've got to kind of reset and get back into it. 33-6 in your first 5 years here. Pretty impressive record. Now it's all washed away, and you've got to start at 0-0 again. How do you get your team to kind of get back into, hey, this is football, and we're 0-0. It's not last year.
Yeah, well, you know, Andover's had great tradition. So prior to me, Coach Wilkie did a great job of having a program built on a tradition of hard work, and what we did on the field, you know, from last year to the next year, kids understand, like, every year's different, but at the same point, like, we understand the tradition and what it means for us to keep building this every single year. And so, you know, the exciting part is that we can hang our hats a little bit on what we did last year for a quick breath, and then after that, it's reality of 2024. And but I feel like kids are hungry. They enjoyed what they saw from last year. The kids coming back really enjoyed where we finished last year, and so, you know, they want to make sure that we try and get back there as best we can.
What are some of the keys with the younger guys to make sure that they're able to understand what the game plan is and understand the speed of the game and varsity?
I think a big thing is just building their confidence, like in practice, giving them all the rah-rah and like hyping them up, giving them all that mojo, helping them get better. Great. So, you know, you're one of the leaders of the team as far as tackle for losses and a career leader with that. I want to ask you, when you get a chance, you're playing everybody you played last year in the regular season. What team defensively can you not wait to play? West, for sure, Mankato West. That's who I played best against last year, and I can't wait to play them again.
I'm surprised it wasn't Elk River.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Elk River's a good one too. I get a lot of tackles against them.
Well, good. Well, Bubba, hey, wish you the best this year, and thanks again for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm here with senior captain Sam Audette. Sam, big year this year. You're planning to be kind of a hybrid between the tight end, wide receiver, and possibly on the line as well. What's the secret to the Andover success as far as offense and your leadership within that team?
Yeah, I really try to be cool with everybody. Like the linemen, I'm great friends with all the linemen, and then the receivers, I've grown up with all of them. So just being really cool with everybody, having good relationships, that definitely transfers onto the field.
Going into this season, last year you were the pup. You were the only junior. Everything else was a senior. This year you're the senior. You've got some new folks that you've got to kind of get rolling on. What are you telling these guys as they're fighting for positions and trying to get to that level that where you were last year?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think everyone's just putting in the work, putting in the effort, just trying to keep them motivated. And I mean, we lost some size, obviously, but I think we replaced it with some really skillful, smart guys, smart players that are ready to get at it and make some moves.
Well, good. One of the questions that I always want to ask linemen: pass or run? What do you like most?
I like our pass play. I like pass. Get to turn it into a run too, so it's fun. I like that.
Well, good, great. Now, you know, your brothers also have played. You're kind of a legacy name here. Are there, you know, you were able to get to the semis last year. Anything with your family that you can kind of hold over their head now that you were able to get to U.S. Bank?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a cool opportunity to play there. I mean, we were at U.S. Bank and they didn't make it, so it's always kind of fun to tease them a little bit, and you know, it was always great to tease your brothers a little bit. So yeah, it's fun. Well,
good. Holden, I hope you have a great season. Thanks again for joining us here. If you had a tunnel screen at the 50-yard line, or you had a post pattern at the 50-yard line and you scored a touchdown, which one would you vote for?
Definitely tunnel screen. Make a few guys miss and maybe hit a little celebration going to the end zone.
Well, that's great. And so this year you've got a schedule. You're playing the same teams again that you played last year. Just mirror schedule. You're going to be at theirs and they're going to be at yours this year. Who are you looking forward to playing the most?
I'd have to say Elk River. It's always a good competition and good game. It's exciting. It's the best fan show out. They're good. They're going to be better this year. So it should be a good game.
Here with defensive coordinator Ken Weichel. Ken, historic run last year. You able to get to the semifinals, first time in Husky history.
Yeah.
And this year you've got to kind of reset, and there are some expectations. I'm sure that kids come in thinking that they'll be able to walk into the bank this year again.
Yeah.
What's the message to get everybody back to ground zero?
Yeah, one of the things we always remind them with is that team was that team. You're a new team. There's a lot of new pieces coming into play. We're just looking to get better every day at what we do, and that's move fast, get lined up, change the picture for a lot of the offenses we're going to see, and just play as fast as we can and understand the concepts that we have in place. So I think it's just getting them to reset, and just everything is new, everything's different. Even if you were here before, we need you to reset and start anew. It's a new team, it's a new game. We got to get ready to go.
The Andover Huskies are coming off their best finish in school history, making it to the semifinals and to US Bank Stadium for the first time. The 2023 team finished with a 10-2 record and have some returning experience and leadership. Head coach Tom DeVellis is in his 6th year with a record of 33-6. The Huskies have Cameron Magali, the all-state wide receiver, coming off a 1,200-yard, 12-touchdown season last year. The Gopher commit is looking to lead the Huskies in offense, and interior linebacker Bubba Weichel will lead the defense. Weichel is one of the career leaders in tackles and tackle for losses for the Huskies. The Huskies open up against St. Thomas Academy, the state runner-up last year at Husky Stadium. Key games for the Huskies are always the sectional opponents. A tough Elk River and Sauk Rapids Rice team will come into the section, and they're both ranked in the top 10. Section 7 is one of the toughest sections in 5A. The Anoka Tornadoes are led by Bo Werstrick, coming in with one of Minnesota's best offense. They are led by quarterback Peyton Padani, a senior entering his 3rd year as a starter. The Tornadoes are one of the best teams to watch in 6A. The Tornadoes finished with a 6-3 record last year and looking for a long run in this year's playoffs. The schedule includes 2 of the past 6A champions, Maple Grove and Centennial. Padani will have one of his favorite targets back, wide receiver Trey Borchers, who had over 40 receptions in 2023. The Tornadoes' defense will be led by linebacker Luke Desheen. This year's Pumpkin Bowl, the Tornadoes will host Wyzetta, and that will be featured here on QCTV. I'm here with Coach Nick Keenan. It's his 7th year here at Champlain Park for the Rebels. Coach, you guys have a huge senior class this year. Actually, probably one of the biggest in 6A. You've got a big maturity jump from 16 to 17-year-olds or 18-year-olds at times. What's the expectation physically? As the Rebels have always played a real physical game.
Yeah, that's one thing the coaches actually talked about. We have 50 seniors signed up, and you figure those kids, are a year older, like you were saying, a year more mature. So we're just really deep at a lot of positions.
since you've been here, that front seven has been really kind of the calling card for your team, and you've got some great pieces already in place there on the defensive line and on your linebackers. Talk a little bit about really the heart of your defense on the front seven.
Front seven starts with Michael Bruggers. He's going to Northern Illinois next year, but he's been our hardest worker since he's been a young kid, so he's really set the tone for all those guys. We have Abdul Janadu, who is going to be a defensive tackle that, again, has worked really hard in the offseason. And there's some other kids that, it seems by their senior year now, they're kind of getting it, they're kind of figuring out, they're bigger, stronger, like we talked about. Linebacker crew, you can look at all the years at this school. We've had great linebackers. One played in the NFL, a bunch of other guys were in, smaller Division I schools. So we tell those linebackers that if you're going to play at Champlin Park, you're going to be one of our best players. But so those guys take that into account. But really, it's just really been helpful with this senior class kind of buying in the weight room, and then 4 years in now. All those, being with me since it's been my 7th year. So we're just really excited about the young guys that we have on the varsity roster, plus all our seniors.
Hey, listen, there's a big difference between juniors and seniors. You've got 50 seniors that have come back out. Unbelievable amount of I would imagine, close friends, and you guys are tight. The physical aspect of it, going from juniors to seniors, how are you feeling coming through camp as far as just physically, and are you feeling stronger? Are you feeling ready to go? And are you seeing that from the rest of the seniors?
Yeah, right now I definitely feel better than I did last year this time around. But as a group, I definitely think it helps to have guys that are more matured, and also just having more experience, more reps. It helps just make the game go easier.
Great, awesome. That's Michael Bruggers from the Rebels, defensive linebacker too, I believe, and he's going to be starring for the Rebels as a captain this season. I'm here with Ashton Kopetsky, who is an outside linebacker for the Rebels, one of the stars and one of the captains. Ashton, coming in to this season, I'm sure you're getting tired of playing against each other, but it's been a good camp from what I understand. You've got 50 seniors. You've also got some underclassmen. And as a captain, what are you doing to lead these guys and get them ready for the season to make sure that you guys are the best against when you get up against Anoka in week 1?
Yeah, I like to keep the intensity up in practice. You always go hard. You're always having fun. I'm one of the guys, I like to mess around, but I also, when it's game time, when it's some practice like scrimmage, I like to go 100% and just give it my all the time.
One of the things that the Rebels have had since you've been here is, whether you're up 10 or down 10 or whatever the score is, their effort there is there no matter what, and that's not by accident. Tell us, how do you approach each game to make sure that your team, no matter what the score is, they're giving effort every play?
We just brought in a former player who will be a 3 or 4 year starter up at St. John's, Hayden Sanders, and he told all the kids, he said, a cliche, but don't take any plays off. Play every play like it's your last. We've actually lost 2 seniors to season-ending injuries already. One outside of football, one in football the first day, just a freak foot injury. But so we talk to the kids all the time about, you never know when it's going to end. So we're hoping that you give your all, because we tell the kids you don't want to live with any regrets. So that's just something we speak to a lot. We try to preach effort as much as we can. That's something that has not really skill related. That's kind of your heart related. So that's the kind of things we do, during practice, and then outside of practice. Just, we think that's a trait that can transcend football.
Excellent. Coach, wish you the best this year, and thanks for joining us here on QCTV.
All right, thanks.
The battle for the paddle will open up the schedule for the Tornadoes and the Champlin Park Rebels this season. The Rebels, coming off a 3-6 season, but have a huge senior class and they are ready to make their mark on the program. Preston Telke is back at quarterback for a 3rd year, and the strength of the Rebels since head coach Nick Keenan has taken over is the defense. Michael Bruggers and Ashton Kopetsky will not only lead the defense, they'll also captain the team. Also look for the Swiss Army knife of Brady Schornstein, who played on varsity since his 9th grade year. He is committed to helping the Rebels on offense and on defense. The Rebels have a tough schedule as they have the past 3 state champions plus Anoka to contend with this season. The Champlin Park Rebels 2024 schedule will start against 2 tough opponents, the Anoka Tornadoes and the Maple Grove Crimson. They'll be home against the Tornadoes in the battle for the paddle, and they will travel to Maple Grove for a rematch of their upset last year against the Crimson. 3 out of the next 4 games will be at home. Osseo, Coon Rapids, and Blaine will all be at home in the middle part of their schedule. Their final home game will be against the Bengals. That will be Senior Day on October 4th. They will finish up against 2 tough opponents on the road, the Centennial Cougars and Lakeville South, to finish off the regular season for the Rebels. The Anoka Tornadoes 2024 schedule will start on the road with 2 games, one against Champlin Park, one against St. Michael Albertville. Their first home game will be September 13th, and back on the road to visit the Maple Grove Crimson on the 20th. The next 3 out of 4 will be at home. The Coon Rapids Cardinals will visit on the 27th. They'll be on the road to the state champion Centennial Cougars on October 4th. The next 2 weeks will be at home against Osseo. QCTV will be there for that game, and the Pumpkin Bowl will be on October 16th against Wayzata. The Andover Huskies will open up their season against the St. Thomas Academy Cadets at Husky Stadium. The Huskies will be on the road the next week to Mankato West. They will take on the Scarlets in a rematch of their only regular season loss last year. The next 2 games will be sectional opponents. Home against Cambridge Isanti, the Blue Jackets will come into town on September 13th, and the Huskies will travel to Elk River for one of the best matchups in 5A as the Elks and the Huskies lock up on the 20th. Huskies will travel to Spring Lake Park on the 27th and back home against St. Francis on October 4th. On October 11th, the Huskies will visit the sectional opponent of Sauk Rapids Rice, and the season finale will be against Robbinsdale Armstrong, a team that they beat twice last year, once in the regular season finale and in the quarterfinals of the state tournament. Let's take a look at the QCTV Minnesota Roots Top 10 for 6A. Last year's champion Edina takes the #1 spot, followed by Lakeville South, Eden Prairie, and Lakeville North. Maple Grove, Minnetonka, and Centennial are 5, 6, and 7. The Anoka Tornadoes come in at 8th as they take on the Champlin Park Rebels in their first matchup. Rosemont and Stillwater round out that top 10 for 6A. The Minnesota Roots QCTV Class 5A preseason rankings have the Alexandria Cardinals ranked #1, followed by Elk River, Robbinsdale Armstrong, St. Thomas Academy. Rogers, Chanhassen, and the Andover Huskies ranked 7th, along with Owatonna, Sauk Rapids Rice, and Moorhead rounds out and coming in at number 10 for the preseason rankings. You can follow Minnesota Roots for all the rankings this season on X. Thank you again for joining us on QCTV's football preview for the Anoka Tornadoes, the Andover Huskies, and the Champlin Park Rebels. We wish the teams the best of luck this season, and we'll see you at the stadiums.